All right, welcome to WiSE, Women in Science and Engineering. The WiSE program at Eastern Florida State College is committed to the recruitment, retention, and advancement of underrepresented groups pursuing careers in science and engineering. It is open to all students, not just females, but to all students to help support us in science and engineering. WiSE here at Eastern Florida includes seminar series with guest experts like our expert today, workshops on careers, resume building, and graduate schools in the spring semester of 2014, that is next semester. We have a resume building workshop coming up, open to all students, staff, and faculty, and even outside for focus on building resumes specifically in STEM careers, which is a little bit different than resumes in other disciplines. Networking for future schools and employment, local excursions. This semester, we have an excursion to visit some of the STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and math labs at UCF, as well as a visit to either a CSI interactive exhibit or the human body exhibit. Career mentoring as well as undergraduate research. If you have any questions about these, please contact myself. I am Dr. Ashley Spring here at the Melbourne campus in the Science Department, or our Associate Provost, Dr. Mary Roslinowski, who's sitting in the back. If you have any questions about any of these or would like to get further involved in any of these. Our speaker today is Vincent Scotti, who is going to be talking about NASA and the Florida Space Grant Consortium, scholarships, student research opportunities. Tuesday, September 17th, same place, same time. We have Ann Spellman, a marine mammologist with Florida Fish and Wildlife, who is coming to speak about marine mammal strandings, rescues, research. She's got some great stories and gruesome pictures to share. Tuesday, October 15th is Dr. Darlene Slattery, who will be talking about alternative energy and chemistry. And Tuesday, November 19th is Robin Pittman, VP of Operations at Health First, talking about health administration. And without further ado, let me welcome our speaker today, who is Vince Scotti, and welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming. Can everybody in the back hear me? Okay. Well, to start off with, I'm a alumni student here from BCC, which now is Eastern University. I was one of the first students here to give the, the speech at graduation. I'm sorry to make it an easier way. It's just a long day. The whole thing is, well, how I got started with the Florida Space Grant Consortium and actually scholarships in general was one day walking down the hall. I was walking down the hall and they had a bulletin board. On the bulletin board, the Florida Space Grant Consortium had a flyer. So what I did was I went to the flyer, got the number, called them up, and they had a program where they used to fly balloons for weather balloons. And the whole project was to build a payload that would put a GPS and a video camera to take video pictures as the balloon went up to a speed of 90,000 feet, and then take the GPS, and then we would recover it when the balloon popped, that it would land somewhere in the Caribbean. All right, that's how I got my start. From that point in time, when I was here at BCC, I was a disability student, which means that I was on disability while coming here to BCC to retrain myself. And at that point in time, I needed to find money to actually support myself to go into school. Now, most of you here have Pell Grants or school loans. I try to do it without the school loans. Matter of fact, I got so good at getting these scholarships, I got paid to go to school. All right, I'm going to tell you a bunch of scholarships that I have that, so right off the bat, one of them is going to be giving you $1,500 of free money as long as you fill out a Pell Grant. All right, so with further ado, I'm going to start off by telling you about the NASA Space Grant Consortium. The NASA Space Grant Consortium is a conglomerate of 52 consortiums across the nation. All right? They're under the control of Congress. They're actually an arm of NASA, whereby by Congress awards them money through NASA for the education and scholarships for students. Now, not only just scholarships, what they also offer too is research funding. They offer fellowships. They offer all kinds of programs. When you apply for a internship at NASA, funding comes from the Florida Space Grant Consortium, even though they don't tell you that. Okay? It's part of the fellowship program. It's mandated by Congress. It was started in 1989. There are 820 affiliates, and what I mean about affiliates, those are universities. Now, Florida Space Grant Consortium does a lot for Florida, believe it or not. They just won a $50 million contract to help develop different CubeSats for Florida that are going to be launched right here from Kennedy. That was just done about a month ago. All right? What I am doing here is I am the FIT ambassador for the Florida Space Grant Consortium. It's a new program. They're even looking for an ambassador for Eastern University at this point in time. So if you're interested, you come up to me, I'll give you the card. I'll tell you how you could apply for it. All right? Florida Space Grant Consortium is all about STEM, science, technology, and mathematics. Now, how many of you here are in the science, math, or engineering type that's what you want to do as far as a major? Okay. What are some of the other majors we have here? Anybody in different majors that's not science and technology? Okay, well, your business, right? It all has to do with the same. You know, people tell me, well, why am I going to listen to you about NASA when I want to do an internship or something? NASA has business internships. NASA has health internships for people that are in the medical field. Because they even have internships for people that are doing psychology. Because you think about it, they have to do these psychological evaluations and work up on the astronauts. So you'd be surprised at how much different things they have going on at NASA that you don't even know about. These are some of the affiliated colleges that are with Florida Space Grant Consortium. And I'm sure as time goes on, Eastern University will be part of that too, now that they're going to the 4-year curriculum. Now here's some of the fellowships and internships. They got the Great Space Grant Fellowship Program for graduate students. This is one I'm going to apply for. I'm going to pick a research topic that is in line with NASA. Now NASA has a whole multitude of different research projects that you can go and apply to do research for. All right, some of them are in California, some are here at Kennedy Space Center, some are even over in Texas. All right, now what you do is you pick that, you write a proposal, and you send that in. If you get picked, what they do is they'll pay you $12,000 a year as a stipend for you to live off of to do your research while you go to school. All right. Here are some of the things that the programs they have for internships. Now, the Undergraduate Academy, that was the one I told you I did about the balloon. I spent 5 days out here at Kennedy building the balloon and sending it up. That was just the first start. That's what got me going on to now with my career path. All right. Me, myself now, I told you I graduated from here. I graduated from BCC with 2 degrees. I graduated with an AA, and I graduated an AS in Chemical Technology Engineering to get the math I needed to get into FIT. Now, I spent $4,500 in tuition for those 2 years. For the past 2 years at FIT, I spent $70,000. So you see the difference that it saved, that money saved me. Saving money or earning money for school is not just getting money from somebody. It's making use of the available resources that you have close by and using them to your advantage. All right, you learn the same classes here as you learn there. Matter of fact, at FIT, you can actually register to take classes here while you're going there. They allow you to take up to 4 classes if you need it to fulfill it for your degree program. All right, then you got the hybrid rocket competition where they actually build rockets and launch them. You have the University Satellite Design Competition, which is FunSat. This is the 3rd year they're doing that. I'll get into that a little more later, but what they do is you actually design a mini satellite, which is a cube satellite about this big, and they will send it up on a rocket in 2016. All right, you get funding for the research, and you get funding for yourself, too, as far as in the form of scholarships. Now, as far as CubeSats, that's a big thing coming down the line that's going to be happening here in Florida. It's happening in other places. They got the Google X Prize, and they got all kinds of other things out there that worth millions of dollars in funding for that. What's going on with the CubeSats is it costs millions of dollars to send up this big satellite. The technology is coming so much now, they could send up 50 of these little ones to do the job of a big one. And you all know weight costs a lot of money when you want to send it off in a rocket to put it up in the orbit. By sending these little ones, they save millions of dollars per flight. Senior design projects. At FIT, we do a senior design project. Mine happened to be the NASA robotics competition. I was a project team lead on the second year I was there. A lot of the students that were there were with me from BCC. We ended up designing and building a robot that was to dig regolith on the moon. They had a whole competition out at NASA where 50 teams from across the world came to compete. Out of all the teams to compete, we came in 5th out of 50. And we also won the award for the best team, I would say, attitude. All right, so we actually won that because we were helpful to all the other teams. The research program, again, Florida Space Grant Consortium, they fund a lot of research. They also help with K-12 programs. They'll go into high schools and middle schools to try to promote funding for STEM. They try to get the teachers on board. They try to get students on board. Because right now, there's a lot of need for people in STEM, women in STEM. There's not that many of them. They're looking for more. Some of you women are a lot smarter than us men. There's no reason you can't do the same work. You're using your brain. You're not using your brawn. Informal education programs is Radio Joe, which is a radio observatory over at the University of Florida. And then they got programs at the Orlando Space Science Center. Okay, most of the fellowships to the graduate students is all for U.S. citizens because you got to get security clearances when you work on this stuff when you go to a NASA center, or whether it be a university center doing work for the government. 3-year fellowships, so they renew it every year, so you would get $12,000 for 3 years. Some of the doctoral students get $21,000. So if you're doing doctoral studies, sometimes it take 3 or 4 years. You would be able to live off of that. I'm going to have some pamphlets out here. If you got the pamphlets, if you don't, I'll give them out to you later. It'll have some of this information on where the contact websites are. Okay, NASA now they went from having 5, 6, 7 websites for internships to making one. They call it NASA Solar. When I was looking for internships at NASA, I had to go to 3, 4 different web pages. Now they made it one, and you could apply to everything, whether it be scholarships, fellowships, internships, and the like. To complete the application, and that's on the website, it does take some time. But once you do it, every semester you can just go and update it. You don't have to redo it. It's always nice to have. I re-update mine every 6 months, all right, because I'm constantly looking for more internships. This is what the website looks like. In the website, as you see, they have related internships, fellowships, scholarships. They also have student ambassador programs, virtual communities. You could do learning online with them. NASA has a lot of resources for students that if you're interested in something, you can go online and actually explore what's going on. They have webinars. Like if everybody's ever watched NASA TV, you see some of the programs they have on there. They're actually on their website. And they're very compliant as far as giving you as much information as possible. Here's some of the domestic internships, STEM outreach, NASA-related internships, NASA-related research. They also do a lot with the disability students. If you got a disability, they got programs for that too. That you get different internships for people with disabilities that they actually make a major impact on with, because they do a lot for people with disability. Like I told you before, the Florida Space Grant Consortium supports interns. Now, to be eligible, you got to be a U.S. citizen, a junior or a senior undergraduate. Now, NASA also, if you apply to NASA, you could also go as a freshman. So if you're here, you think you have to be at a 4-year school, you don't have to be. I did most of my internships when I was sitting right here at BCC. All right? Matter of fact, I was going to school at night while I was doing the internship and when I graduated. High academic standards, you need a 2.90 or better. So it's really not that big. You got to be a B student. They're not looking for rocket scientists. Though they want them, they're not looking for them. Not everybody's a rocket scientist. They'd rather have somebody that could do the work or learn the work or be interested and they could teach more to than somebody that thinks they know it all and they can't even pick up a phone. Now, if you're interested, here are some of the websites. Like I say, they're in the brochure, so I'm not going to get too much into that. Definition of student collaboration. Let's see. These are some of the authors. Bear with me because this presentation is about 170 slides long and I'm not showing you all of them. It's no reason. Now, we're getting into the fun sat. This is a new program that's only 3 years old with the Florida Space Grant Consortium. All right? The whole idea is to build these satellites. I was just at the competition last year. I was invited to be a judge. And some of these students from the different, was Florida Space, FSU, UCF, they all did their time and did their satellites. You don't necessarily have to build it, but you have to design it and prove your proof of concept. All right? They won $3,000 for their effort, what they did last semester. Some of the ideas of what the satellites will look like. And a lot of this stuff is all off the shelf, which means you can get it on a website to help you build the satellites. Some stuff definitely is going to be proprietary, but they're looking to see if you understand what it takes to build it, how you go about it. They're looking for a systems engineering approach. Anything you do at NASA is a systems engineering approach. They want to know you know how to make the parts fit together. All right, that goes with any program. They want to know that you can work with other departments, know what's going on, interact with people. NASA's all about teamwork. College is all about teamwork. When you start getting up into the higher colleges, the junior and senior year, you're going to get projects and they want you to work in teams. You all know you're going to get one person you're not going to like or whatever. You deal with them for the class, you get it done, and you move on. These are just some of the different ones, the rockets that they send it up to. This goes with the different types of the different payloads. I'm not going to get into too much of that because I don't want to bore you. Come on. Okay, this is what the changes they made in the project this year. What they're going to do this year is satellites, for the satellites, universities could all apply to building a satellite. The best design is going to get picked, they're going to fund it. But other universities can win a project where they get to build parts of the satellite, they would also win funding. I want to get to the fun stuff, which is where everybody wants to know, which is all the money. These are some of the sponsors that sponsored some of these projects. This is the hybrid rocket competition if anybody's interested. You can go on the website, it'll tell you all about it. These are some of the prizes for the maximum altitude, the closest 2,000-foot category. These are the prizes that you would win. These are some of the students out doing some of the different teams that were doing the rocket launch. It actually gets to be pretty fun when you actually see it go up. Bear with me, everybody. Okay. As far as Space Grant Consortium also awards grants to professors. So if a professor's doing research and they want to go for grants, which does actually apply to you, but sometimes if you want to do some research and you get one of your professors or advisors involved, it's possible you both can write a proposal and both do the research. Sometimes that's a better way of doing it, that you could actually get somebody to help you and guide you as you're doing the research. Okay. These are some of the students working on a different, this was the balloon. Here, it changed again, huh? Okay. These are the states with all the different consortiums that they have. All right, now I'm going to get to I'm not going to go through all of this. This is the National Robotics Mining Competition. This is what I did last spring. All right, it was fun, but it was a lot of work. We ended up working on that robot for 9 weeks. All right, and it was a matter of electrical engineers, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, and sometimes one engineering discipline doesn't work well with the other because they want to build it, they have to build it one way, but they have to work with other people the other way. We were very lucky, everything worked out, it was great, it was a lot of fun. If you're interested in something like that, FIT has that, and a lot of other colleges are doing that. FSU, Northern Florida University, and whatnot. Eventually, we'll try to get Eastern University involved with it too. All right, now what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go into the scholarships because I don't want to run long. There are a lot of scholarships out there for you guys, for you women and you men. Biggest scholarship that I could tell you about right now, who knows how much it costs to go to Eastern University right now? Can anybody tell me how much it costs? How much? For a few classes, but if you want to take a full year of classes, it's actually close to $2,400. That's 24 credit hours of classes. Then you have books, then you have, essentials of gas, getting back and forth to school, living arrangements. I mean, if you live at home, you don't rent to your parents, but if you have your own apartment, it costs money. Okay? And Eastern University College has a lot of people that are working and going to school at the same time, or have families, single mothers. All right, so money's tight. Biggest thing you got to do is you got to look for scholarships. So you say, okay, that's easy. It is. Once you do the initial look of the different scholarships, there is a lot of money out there, and after that, you just keep reapplying for the same ones. Now, if anybody has a pen on you, write this down. This is going to be the best thing I ever tell you, no matter what I spoke about all day. The Frederick P. and Grace Brecht, BRECHT scholarship. Okay? That scholarship will give you $1,500 for just living here in Brevard County. That's the requirement. Other than the fact that you got to go to school and file a FAFSA. All right? I got it 5 years in a row. So $1,500 almost pays your tuition to go to school here. Not to mention you get all that FAFSA money or your Pell Grants. Okay? So the biggest thing you got to learn about scholarships is you got to file for them 6 months ahead of time. If you're going to school in September, you got to fill out the scholarships back in January because they run 6 months ahead. Which meaning, what I mean by that is you got to fill out the scholarships in January for when you're going to school in September or August, because it takes them that much time to pick the winners and do all the administration to get you the money. All right? That's what you have to do as far as scholarships. That's the biggest thing you got to learn, scholarships. You got the Florida Engineering Society scholarships. They have scholarships for high school students and college students. All right? It's FES.com. And you'll have my cards. Take my cards today. If you got any questions, send me an email. I'll answer all your questions and send you information. That's another scholarship that gives anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. I've won that for 3 years. All right? You got the NASA Aerospace Scholarship for those of you who are going to go into 4-year schools. That pays you $15,000 a year for 2 years plus a $10,000 internship. That was one of the ones I won. All right? Then you have the Robert Gibbs Scholarship that comes through the foundation here. The Boeing Bright Future Stars application scholarship. That's through the foundation here. The foundation here has a varied amount of scholarships. So you go on the website here at the school, apply to them. You never know what you get. And like I told you, I wasn't the brightest bulb in the room, but I know where all the light switches were. That's what you got to learn. Because, how many people do you know are so smart that they don't think they need scholarships, so they don't apply for them? There's a lot of them out there. So if you work hard and you try and you go after it, you will get them. I think to date I've won 30 or 40 scholarships. Okay? I've been at school now 5 years. I'm working on my computer engineering, my Bachelor of Science in computer engineering at the same time working on my master's in cybersecurity. And the reason I'm working on my master's is I don't want to pay that year's tuition. I'm going to graduate with a certificate a master's certificate in cybersecurity, while at the same time having one full year of my master's done. So I have to go to school 1 year. I'm in the process myself of looking for scholarships. Okay? There are scholarships out on the websites that are all over the place. If you go to FIT site, let me see if I can close this out. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. There we go. Okay, see this website? www.fit.edu, financial aid sources. All these websites are websites I've been giving out for 3-4 years. Matter of fact, they got them from me. These websites, you go on there, what they do is they match you with scholarships. You put all your demographic information in these things, and what they do is they'll match you with a scholarship for your major, GPA, male, female, whatever. It will send you about 20 or 30 scholarships per website. What you do when you go on those websites, you turn around and you click on all the surveys and all the contests and delete them all, because that's how they pay for the websites. After that, you can just click on all the different scholarships that are available. That just made all your searching down to nothing. It matched everything for you, and then you go in there. Scholarships are worth $1,000. Scholarships are worth $100,000. And to be honest with you, a lot of people go after the $100,000 ones are those 4.0 students. But if you go after the $1,000 scholarships, if you get 10 $1,000 scholarships, it's just as good as winning one $10,000 one. Who cares as long as you get the money? All right? You got to work at it a little bit. Think of it as another class. But you know what? The money that it saves, you can get paid to go to school. You know, when you come here to school, it costs you $2,400, but your budget is actually close to $14,000. So you're entitled to $14,000 worth of aid legally. So which means is if you got $14,000 worth of aid, and then you paid the tuition off of that, whatever's left is yours. They split it up into 2 semesters, and you got that money to live off of. Believe me, it's nice. All right. The last thing I'm going to go into is the scholarships themselves. Some scholarships you have to write a resume for. The one I told you about, the BREC, it's a 1-page application. It takes 15 minutes to fill out. The only requirement is you have to put the University of Florida on your FAFSA. You don't change anything on the FAFSA, just add it so they can read it. Once they do that, they'll award you a $1,500 scholarship, believe it or not. That's the only requirement of living here in Brevard. All right? Doing scholarships, if you got a scholarship that requires essays, write one general essay about what your goals are. That's it. You can recycle that to all the rest of the scholarships. So you're not writing 200 essays, 300. One good essay. Have it edited. Take it to the writing center. That's all you need to do. Doing that, one good essay can get you a lot of scholarships. All right, and with that, I'm going to close, and I'll take any questions. Yes?
Can you talk about the presidential scholarship that's between Eastern Florida State College and
Sure.
Florida State?
You mean the one I turned down?
What did you say?
You mean the one I turned down?
I didn't realize you turned it down.
Yes, I did. Presidential scholarship is a scholarship that's between here and FIT. 5% of scholarship is to give well-respected students, the ones that earn it, the free ride to FIT. Now, I believe the scholarship is good for 3 years, but I also found out it's possible if you take the fast track program, the master's fast track program at FIT, it'll pay for your master's too. All right? Now, what that scholarship does, it gives you a complete free ride at FIT. And I believe they give out 20 a year here. Now, I did get it, but the year that I was told that I was picked for that scholarship, the reason I turned it down was I won the NASA Aerospace Scholarship. And I figured it'd be better to turn it down and let another student utilize that than to be greedy. You know, it's one thing to win scholarships and get everything you can. It's another thing to take something out of somebody else's mouth. So, any other questions? Yes.
Anytime that one was unawarded, there's a lot of students
Yes.
that do not know about that one. And it goes unawarded.
Well, for what I understand about that, that's the teachers and the professors have to propose them for the scholarship. Oh, really?
Students can apply directly to that one. We do. I mean, we put forth students.
Right.
The students can also apply directly to that one.
Because I remember Dr.
And
Dietrich.
find someone who is an alum of FIT. I'm an alum of the
Okay.
you can also, just by me signing the one sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Get another, I think it's
$1,000. Yeah, I wasn't going to go into the actual FIT ones because I didn't want to think that I'm pushing FIT. But FIT gives you a lot of free money. $1,000 if you get an alumni to sign your thing. If you came up to me and I signed your application, that's a free $1,000. If you get it in early, it's another $1,000. And because you can't, I think when they all add it up, I think it comes up like $4,000. And it's renewable every year. Once you get it, it just keeps going until you graduate. Yes?
Yeah, I was looking on it to find out what the application is for students that, because of where I work.
Right.
I can find that. Actually, we were from financial aid office and received it, and she's over there right now, but I didn't know about the fast track. But what is the application, and how do you actually apply for it?
For which one?
For the presidential.
They only posted, it seems like certain times of year.
Actually, the person you have to ask is right behind you, Dr. R.
So I typically just call the financial aid office at FIT. I'm looking for this, hear me when I do it.
Well, Indira has a lot to do with that too. So if you have to call Indira, she can tell you. So that's one thing I do know. Yeah. Now, there's one scholarship I forgot to tell you about, which I think is the most important one that I've ever seen. It's called the SMART Scholarship. It's smart.asee.org. It's a scholarship for service. They cover a multitude of majors. Now, what this scholarship does, it'll pay you up to $40,000 a year to go to school, plus free tuition, plus health insurance, plus free books, plus an internship at the summertime, a paid internship above the 40, and a guaranteed job when you get out of school. All right, it's from the Department of Defense. It would be a government job, and what they would do is they would send you to who you would be working for, and they train you both on the job and in school for your job. And then when you get out, your salary is equivalent to the people that are working there, which most of the time is about 80, 90 grand a year. I've been a finalist for 4 years, but it's so, if you really are got a 4.0, 3.9, I would recommend it, especially if you know where you want to work and what you want to do, because that's an opportunity of a lifetime. Any more questions? SMART, SMART .asee.org. And they do anything that has to do with science, math, and technology.
Can you post their website for us?
Yeah. This is it. All right, it's a SMART scholarship. They have sponsoring facilities all over the country, as you can see. At one time, Patrick was a sponsoring facility. Right now, I'm in talks with the Air Force Research Laboratory about going to Rome, New York to do research They would keep me at FIT to do cybersecurity research up in New York. Let's see, students. I want to get you some information on what they have. One thing I will say about this website, it is this is like a 14-page application if you look at it, but you don't have to do it all at once. What you do is you could start on and go back to it. A lot of the information can be real easy. The biggest thing, they want references, and the references apply to them directly. You don't have to go in your professor's office and ask them for a reference and wait in your hand. They will send them an email to do the references. For undergrads, you don't need an SAT, ACT scores. It's good if you got them, but you don't need them. I know of a student at FIT that's one of our students here that was in talks with them that he didn't even take his ACTs or GREs, and he got picked for a position. Trying to show you the facts, award details. You go into the award details, it tells you everything that's got to be doing. The people that administer this also administer the NASA Aerospace Scholarship. All right, I'll go into that right now too to show you that one, which is actually a very good. This is a NASA Aerospace Scholarship. This is one of the ones I won. They give out 20 for undergrads and 5 for grads a year. And it's not a one-year scholarship, it's a 2-year scholarship. The graduate scholarship is a 3-year scholarship. And every summer they send you for internships all over the country. These are things that are out there. Take advantage of them. Because, you never know. The NASA scholarship that when I went to California, I went to Ames Research Center, they ended up sending me to Washington, D.C. to give a presentation to the whole agency last year. So you don't know what doors you open up unless you apply and try. And if you have any questions, you need any help, send an email to my email that's on my card. If I can help you with anything, I will. Or your professors will. If you're looking for references from your professors, don't wait till the last minute. Give them time, because they're going to write you a nice reference. Dr. R back there has wrote me many references to the point where she just used to call me. Do you need one yet? I used to apply to 20, 30 scholarships a year. So, and out of the 20, 30, it's a numbers game. You get 2 or 3 or 4. So for those of you that need money for school, this is a way of getting it. Any more questions? Yes.
So some of the ones you brought up, for example, this one is aeronautics. Does the student have to be in aeronautics?
No. The, let's see, undergraduate program, they will give you a list of all the different, list of supported fields. They will tell you what fields they support. It's mostly in a STEM, as you can see, aeronautical, chemical, civil, computer, electrical, energy, engineering, industrial engineering, mechanicals, materials, polymer, systems engineering. And additional supported fields is mathematics, computer science, and physics. So you go into the scholarships, they'll tell you what fields they support, but mostly all the scholarships I told you about here today have to do with STEM. That's where the most money is these days. I mean, the young lady we were talking before from the financial aid office, she was telling me of scholarships that were for robotics, right, that they got millions of dollars to give out, but no students applied for it. That's right here, that's in your financial aid office, that nobody takes advantage of.
And this one right here was really interesting. I spoke with one of the people that had that at top level, and he said that if your major is not within those disciplines, write an argument why it could be part of NASA.
Yes.
So for my daughter, who's environmental engineering, if she's interested, she has to first explain why the eligibility and whether students are in business or something, because NASA is, as you said, everything. So write your paper.
Now, NASA, my field is not business or medical, but NASA also has scholarships for that too. They are out there. You'd have to go to the website search. Most of my searches, as Dr. R can tell you, has been in the field of science, technology, and mathematics. But I've also won awards here at BCC Eastern University for helping students get 4-year degrees, full ride 4-year degrees in culinary, medical. It's not my field, but it doesn't mean I won't help you if I can. So it's out there. They got to work for it. It's not, but it doesn't have to be arduous. It's just a little effort can go a long way. And especially the parents. Your parents would love to help you with this stuff because you know what? It's saving them a lot of money. It ain't cheap to go to school. The parents become my best friends when I help their kids get a scholarship. So, any more questions?
Regarding the scholarship SMART,
Yes.
the scholarship for service, what exactly do you mean by service?
Scholarship for service is for every year you get the scholarship, you have to work for the federal government.
Oh, okay.
And what's nice is the internships that you do will be who you're working for. So when you get done with all your internships, you already know the people there. You already have experience. You walk right into the job as an experienced operator. And that's the one thing that's nice. And you don't have to worry about graduating college and looking for a job. You know you got it. Not to mention, you're getting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, depending on what year of school you're in, to go to school. You can have a nice little nest egg before you even get out of school. So, because they pay full tuition. But it is hard, I will tell you that. Last year, they gave out 145 of them. The year before, they gave out 432 before the sequester. So it does have a lot to do with the political climate and career. But this is a program they can't do without. Those of you that are in computer engineering or computer science, the government needs 30,000 people in cybersecurity alone that they're looking for people. All right, I've been flown up to Washington, D.C. to do internships with 3-letter agencies that you see in the news, that they flew me up that they want to hire me. The work is out there. The things are out there. You just got to look and see what you want to do and go after it. Any more questions? Hello, Dr. Davis. I see you back there.
One word of advice for students in searching for money for college, what would it be?
Don't get discouraged. It's out there. You will get it. Believe me when I tell you. The Breck Scholarship alone should whet your appetite for money. Don't settle. Do not settle for nothing. You shouldn't have to. At your age, you guys are way far ahead of people my age. When I was your age, I didn't have a computer in my house. I had a basketball. I used to go outside and play basketball. Today, 18 months old, 2 years old, they got their own computer. And you guys are a lot smarter than I was at your age. Believe me when I tell you. Use it. Take all those playing video games alone. You could be a drone pilot these days. I mean, think about it. It's a video game. That's all it is now. You don't have to learn how to fly or pass a physical. So use what you have. And believe me when I tell you, your professors will help you. Show the initiative. They're glad to help you. You're the success stories. And that's the way it is. Now, those of you who don't have my card is up here. Please grab one before you leave. If you have any questions you don't want to say here in the conference here, don't. Call me, email me. I'll be glad to help you. If you need a hand to set up an application or fill out an application, if I have the time, I'll gladly help you with that too. Okay? Yes.
The programs you're talking about where they match YouTube scholarships, I think it's called STAR or STARS. It's an online program.
There's those websites that I gave you, that FIT. Send me an email. I'll send you a whole bunch of stuff. That's what they are. They match you to the scholarships. And not every one matches you to the same one. Some pick out others and some pick out more.
The bottom line question would be, when they ask for an essay, recommendations for the essay being, one nice sized paragraph, up a whole one-page type, because they don't discriminate between how many words you should use.
All right. Some do, some don't. Like when you go into the Smart Grant for Service, they ask you for goals. They want an essay on the goals. They want another one on research. And they limit you to letters, not words. And it gets arduous, but once you get it done, you could keep that and reuse it for the next year. Okay? Big thing is read the application. Don't just look at the application, say essay, write an essay. Look to see what it wants. Give them what they want. That's what you want to do. The biggest thing is give them what they want. Direct it towards what they're looking for. But be honest. Don't just do it because you want to do it. Be honest about what you want to do. Tell them your goals. Tell them your dreams. Tell them that you're motivated. And that's all they need. If you write a general essay, if they just ask you for an essay of what you expect to do with your life, write a good one. Take your time. Take months to write it. But write it. Once you have that, you could use that for all these scholarships that don't ask for a specific. Like with the Smart Grant, they ask for research specific. That wouldn't be useful. But the goals part, that would be useful. So that's what you got to keep in mind. That limits a lot of work you do.
And most of them ask for that same thing.
Yes.
What are your yourself feeling? What are your career goals? They're all pretty much the same thing in different ways.
They want to know where you want to go, where you expect to be. They want to see that you have a drive. They want to see that you're motivated. That's what they're looking for. I'm going to a conference in New Orleans called Great Minds in STEM. I'm also a senior student delegate for them. At that conference, you got Lockheed Martin, CIA, NSA, Oak Ridge, you have NASA, who else? Air Force Research Laboratory. You have MIT. You have JPL. They're all there recruiting. Not to mention that whole conference is for students. You go there, you spend, I think it's $170. That pays for your room. That pays for all your food for the conference. They set you up with a mentor. They give you classes. They tell you what's available. And when I tell you there's a lot available, you'd be surprised. I mean, I got approached by a recruiter there from a government agency that I was astounded. That when I just blew it off. I was at FIT last year. That same government agency came to FIT. When they came and gave their presentation, they asked the career services director who I was, if I was in the audience. They said, yeah. They came up to me again. So you don't know what is out there. And if anybody's interested in that conference, you don't have to go this year, but next year, I'll give you all the information. It's going to be in New Orleans again. It opens up many doors for you. You got to learn how to network. But that alone will give you they give you a mentor that you can deal with on the phone or by email. And that helps. Sometimes you just need somebody to open up crack that door open a little bit, and then you kick it open the rest of the way. So, without further ado, if there's nothing more. Okay? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And again, if you have any more questions, feel free to contact them. This recording will also be on the WiSE website, which is www.easternflorida.edu/WiSE. Thank you for coming and have a great day.
Thank you for having me, everybody.